finding out. Right, I'll just start with you looking at the camera cover.
Well, good morning. It's Caroline Stevens, Seeking the Truth. And in our East Midlands studio, we have got Eric Heaps. Thank you very much for coming, Eric. And you've got quite a story to tell. So we're going live on Facebook. We're going live on Caroline Stevens Seeking the Truth YouTube channel. And we're also going on to Kingworth. Or is it King Key Worth? So that's another YouTube channel. So if it isn't good on Facebook, please take a look at the YouTube channel. So we are live there. Okay, Eric, you've got a story about courts and corruption, and we're going to split the story into 20-minute segments, and we're going to talk about, what shall we talk about in part one? And who are you?
To be honest, I'm just a builder from Rotherham, and I had my son who worked with me. He was a roofer, and he did roofing inside a contract. And he was a wee lass. She had 2 kids, and then they split up, and he got with another lass who were involved in J report. Now,
What's the J report?
The J report in Rotherham, South Yorkshire, about child grooming gangs.
Right.
There was a big report called J report, and then after J report were over, there was a big investigation into South Yorkshire Police with statements against a lot of South Yorkshire officers for raping children.
Right, so because I am not familiar with it because I don't live in the north anymore. So for the benefit of people who don't know anything about this particular grooming situation, how did you come across it? Were you part of the investigation team? Were you affected personally in this way? And how many children were affected?
Well, to be honest, everybody mentions grooming gangs. But to be quite honest, it's been going off since way before grooming gangs. It's been going off, I know, since at least 1975. At least. I've been in it myself. My sisters have been in it. So we all know, even from right back then, it was happening with your school headmasters, your school teachers, your counsellors, your social services. I mean, at one point, social services were taking me out. We disabled children on weeks away in Croydon and places like that. And at 11-year-old, you could hear them raping disabled in other seriously. And this has been going on since 1975. I left it all behind me. I had a lot of mental issues for it all, and I left it all behind me when I was 30-year-old. And then it was only when my son actually went with this lass who was involved in J report. Now, there was a big story in Rotherham about a 12-year-old lass, first 12-year-old lass. I mean, it's common practice now, but it's the first 12-year-old lass to get pregnant while in care, in a care home.
Which part of Yorkshire is this?
Rotherham.
Rotherham stuff, right.
And then it all came out with J report, whistleblower. That all came out with whistleblower in Rotherham. Then they did J report. While they were in J report, they actually police in the J report were mentioned when you watch it on Parliament, when Parliament did an investigation into it and called them all before panel. One part what got me were the whistleblower from Rotherham, the person who did whistleblowing. The police actually pulled up beside her where she was in a door. She was put in an house which nobody's supposed to know where it was.
So it's supposed to be a safe house.
Yeah.
And when you say she blew the whistle, what was her role in? How did she know about it?
She was working with children at a place called Swinton Lock.
Is that a children's house?
No, it was a place where kids with behavioural difficulties went.
Right, okay.
And people who weren't doing any good at school, they sent them there and they used to learn like basic skills, which were a good idea to be honest. But I think that's when she found out about it. I mean, everybody look up Jane Seymour and you can clearly see what went off in Rotherham with J report. There's also about 8 or 9 videos are all the panel who did the J report, interviewing the police, social services, and it's a write-off. It is absolutely disgusting. You cannot believe how disgusting that report is. But like I said, when they were doing this J report, the police actually followed this person home who was doing the J report, opened the car door for her. When she got out, they said, "Oh, wouldn't it be funny if a certain ethnic group knew where you were living?" So then they tried, I think, 3 more people. I think they tried 3 more people to take on the G report, and everybody who did it, £1 million in wages, packed it in within the first month. So that tells you who's going to pack a job in for £1 million worth of wages, and they all left in 3 months.
Wow. So who was actually officially appointing the person in charge of the J report? Was it from the government?
Yeah, it was a government body. It's well all over YouTube. I'll share it all on my YouTube channel, Twitter channels. It's a well documented report, and they were in front of the report, in front of a committee, under Parliament, actually scrutinising the police because of what came out with J report. But they didn't scrutinise the police. It was the police, social services, NHS services who know it was everything. I mean, the main reason my son went in trouble is because when he took his girlfriend, he went with another lass. His girlfriend not jealous of it, even though she was somebody else. A bit too rough, like this, and social services got involved. I don't know why, but they got involved. They found out everything was clear. I mean, my son Nathan, who they said have done this crime and tried to take his kids off him, he'd been passed by social services for 7 years for his niece, so he could see his niece. You see what I'm saying? So social services passed him for 7 years, and then when he split up with his missus and went on this last J report, tell him, hold on, you're not seeing your kids.
On the basis of
just him and his missus were having a bit of sex too, and arguing, no physical, no shouting, just that they were at each other's throats because they were biting each other all the time. Not even in front of kids. This was when she went away back from school. She had to walk past his house. She started slanging mud, and then I never just sit there and laugh like, or make even worse by laughing. Wish we did up to a woman who actually upset his laugh, and that's I never just sits there with cheesy bit on his face and laughs. So she getting more and more wound up. Now, it also stemmed from there. Now, this lass's house, who were in J report, she when she was an ex, about 6 months before, he put one of the windows through. So they put these anti-tamper things on windows. It's supposed to go off in case anybody breaks in. They put a box in her house because at J report they put a panic button in her house and all this lot.
So this is the whistleblower.
No, this is the actual lass. This is my son's girlfriend. Who were in J report.
Who was in the J.
Pregnant.
So she was one at. So she wasn't the first. She wasn't the one at 12.
Yes, yeah, she was one at 12. Nah, she's older than that. But she.
So did they know 12. Who actually made her pregnant?
Public knowledge. When they come up to investigate the J report, it was all not investigate the J report. It was cover up of the J report because the cry out of the people back then, 2016, everybody was being crazy over it. So back in 2016, they then got the regional crime squad to actually get involved and cover it all up. So most of these people who was involved either ended up getting threats against the kids to drop it or whatever, or got put in prison for some offence, which they just make up and put you in prison for. Believe you do not get no barrister in the South Yorkshire court, and I guarantee you that you'll get no representation whatsoever. We were sat in the court, there were 6 of us sat in the court, but the judge tell my son's barrister and his mate's barrister to sit down and shut the F up because he was a different law book.
What do you mean a different law book?
Exactly, a different law book. Lisbon Treaty. There's a part in Lisbon Treaty, if you look at Lisbon Treaty, and it clearly states that any court can be taken over, or any court proceedings can be taken over if it goes against the EU in any way. Well, child trafficking does go against the EU. It's their biggest business. So that's why they take over the courts. That's why these people who are getting raped and these victims who are getting raped have got no stance. because we're not under our English law. We're
That's
under the
true.
Lisbon Treaty.
We were under the EU Constitution since the 1st of December 2009, and that's why Tony Blair and co
Yeah.
put the Supreme Court into place.
People don't want to believe that that little sentence in that Lisbon Treaty has so much effect on the people in Britain, and it does, because they clearly got no rights against immigration, because you're going against EU policy, and when you go against EU policy, that section of that Lisbon Treaty comes in, and they can take over the economy. And that's all it is.
Well, people don't realise
No.
that most of the Lisbon Treaty has actually been fulfilled already.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was at, just to digress, I was at the Tory Party conference yesterday, went to a fringe event yesterday evening, and Jacob Rees-Mogg and a couple of other his contemporaries were alongside him on the platform, and I raised the issue of free movement and global courts under these trade deals of free movement with Kansas. And they don't want to know. They just don't want to know, because they're all part of the plan. So, you know, it's so frustrating seeing people say on Facebook, oh, you know, John Bercow is being ousted by somebody else. What does it make? What does it matter?
None.
It really doesn't, you know.
They're going to do whatever they want to do.
They're going
anyway.
to do whatever they want
Regardless,
to do.
I mean, they've already proved that. I mean, what gets me is all these Remainers and all these people out there what say, yeah, let's stop and let's be democratic about it. Hold on. I thought democratic was letting them all win. Not be like a little. They remind me of school children. They remind me of school children. All like when you win a game, I'm taking my ball back in. And that's it. If it don't go their way, they're taking ball in. And they're standing trying to tell us, or we're actually agreeing that, yeah, it's a democracy. We won. We're the executive. If you're the one, play a game. Don't go out screaming and shouting at everybody because you spat dummy out because you've lost. Childish. Such childish antics.
So going back to the Lisbon Treaty then, so this really has impacted on your own son's...
Everybody's life in ways they would not believe. I mean, I've just shown you videos and pictures of a car I had. Now, when my son first got arrested for this offence,
so basically you bought a car.
Yeah, I bought
and it was
an Audi TT 05. It wasn't a Shell, a complete car. Now, because of what car it were, 190 limited edition, which they only made a certain amount, I bought this car. Had it all stripped down, which you've seen, and all repainted, and it was immaculate when it came out of it. 3 months later, it was run off the road by a hire car. Nobody knows what hire car were. The police didn't even go and get the video from the lorry what caught it all on camera. Now, my car was pushed down I had to swerve out there and went down a banking. They paid me £80 for an 05 Audi TT 190 limited edition, full surface history, fully restored, and English.
And it was
at 7,000.
And how many man hours would you have put in with that?
Well, I took all engine out, stripped all that about 2.5 weeks. Put all the injectors in, put loads of money into it. My mate painted all shell and all the car. That cost me £2,000 on its own, just for spray job because of what paint it were.
So how did your insurance company? How did they actually explain why it was only worth £80?
They didn't. I've got a letter here. They didn't. They just said we're going to. Which I've got pictures of a car. And it's got a piece of plastic trim up bumper, a scrape up door that big. And that was it. They paid that car £3,798 and paid me £80.
So it wasn't worth paying that insurance then, was it? Really?
No, my insurance is 19 years, no claims bonus. My insurance for that year, this is after it jumped up from £400 and it jumped up to 1,000, and this was even before accidents, so no claims.
Yeah.
1,000.
Oh yeah, because of it being a speedy car.
No, my Audi A4. I had Audi TT before my insurance ran out, and I renewed it again. It's only £500. My insurance was £1,661.78. That's for 20 years, no claims. I never had an accident in my life, and that's what I had to pay to walk road. Now it's changed even more. Now, if I had to get a car, get somebody else to buy it me, put it in their name and put me on their insurance because I cannot even get insurance
Because
because the government are all involved. They can every time I go into a rally, especially when I was a big follower of Mr. Robinson, every time I went to a rally and I was picking people up, I was picking people up from Manchester, I was picking people up all the way down from out to London, and we were all getting cars, we were setting all these cars. But every time I went to a rally, they cancelled my insurance the day before. No reason why.
they knew you were going to a rally.
Yes, and they cancelled my insurance.
How did they know you? How did they know?
Because you followed your Facebook and your phone. My phone, if I turn my phone on now, my phone will have a tracker on it, and it'll come up on the setting, same tracker in and voice recordings and call plus, and I've got hundreds of. I bet if you put your on, I bet you've got tracker on your phone. I guarantee you.
Right. Okay. Well, this is. I think we'll call this the end of part 1 because there's lots more to discuss. So we're looking at corruption. We're looking at, I guess, insurance, the court, the J report.
Well,
wow,
when we come back in,
stuff.
When we come back in the second off, I'll actually show you statements which prove. I'll tell you about my son and how he got in trouble, and I'll actually show you statements from the lass who made the statement saying she lied on the 17th of March last year, and my son is still in prison.
Right, Eric, thank you so much. And that's the end of part 1. Caroline Stevens, Seeking the Truth. And this is Eric Heaps in our studios in the East Midlands. But I guess the authorities know exactly where we are at the moment. Anyway, look forward to seeing you in part 2. We should be live shortly if we're not taken off the air. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.
That's better. I can use remote control on this now. It didn't work before.